Oh, there is young Harry. Pardon? Oh, I'm sorry. Of course you've never met Harry. Please meet Henry Victor Hastings, known to those who love and annoy him as Harry. You must excuse him, he's a little preoccupied at present. As you see, he is a bare 12 years of age, and when standing up, is of stocky build. That from his uncle Jack, but we won't talk of this relation now. In fact, the family try and avoid talking about him at all. In this light, his fur may appear a little grey, but is light beige in colour, usually untidy and penetrated by soft brown eyes. Small nose, a family trait, is quite dry at the moment. This is a sure sign that there is something wrong. Don't worry, son. Someone will be here soon. The reassuring voice comes from a burly figure seated at a desk. Yes, but what will happen when his dad comes? He rather hopes it will be his mum. She won't tell him off. She is the best mum in the world, and maybe in the universe. Mum was Dorothy Myrtle Trout. She married his dad, and everyone has come to know and like her as Dolly Hastings. You will like their home when you see it. Dolly spends her days making it pretty, warm, and cozy for the family's return. I suppose pretty, warm, and cozy could describe Dolly as well. She is no longer the slim thing she was when she married, but she still has her curves. The soft, fair fur is always well kept, and bows adorn her hair. Big grey eyes and a quiet voice appeal to all who meet her. No, she won't tell Harry off, she never does. What will his dad say, though? Wait a minute. Why shouldn't Neville come down to fetch him? This thought cheers Harry for a moment. He likes his big brother, his tall, 17-year-old, good-looking brother. Neville, Edward after their dad, likes to think he's cool. His comb is ever ready to put a stray hair or piece of fur back in place, and his dark brown eyes and long lashes are often hidden behind shades. Young ladies interest Neville, although please don't tell anyone else. Neville doesn't interest many young ladies. Much to his annoyance, their mothers seem more charmed by his boyish good looks. Harry's shoulders droop again. It is Mrs. Sementon who has invited Neville for tea with her daughter Sonia. That's why Harry was left in charge of his sisters this afternoon. His brother always wiggles out of babysitting. Babies is not a good description of Polly and Ivy Hastings. 7 years ago, Mum and Dad thought they were about to receive the best Christmas present ever. They were going to have twins on the 25th of December. The fact that the twins refused to arrive until Boxing Day should have given some warning of things to come. Fresh names had to be decided on for one thing. Dolly was certain that they would arrive as a boy and a girl, and would be called Mary and Joe. Still, Holly and Ivy were names, and well suited to beautiful babies who were the very image of their mum. Unfortunately, the prettier they grew, the naughtier they became, and nobody could believe it because they looked angelic. Harry believed it, though. It is because of them that Harry is here now. Was it only this afternoon the Mum had suggested he takes the twins for a walk down by the sea? Such a lovely afternoon. Let me explain. Whitsun Bay is a small fishing port about 30 miles from the city, noted for its range of shellfish. The Hastings residence, number 103 Porchester Crescent, is the last house at the seaward end, and only 3 minutes' walk from the promenade. Mum had given him some money to buy them all ice cream. Actually, by the time the twins had wheedled and protested until had been bought the biggest cornets with chocolate and with sauce, Harry had enough money left for a milk lolly for himself. It is enough to make any bear sulk, I am sure. So he sat on the sea wall and did just that. Even in my fading memory, though, a milk lolly takes no longer than a minute or two to eat. And so Harry soon finished his ice and his sulks and returned to his duty of minder. You're right. He had no one left to mind. They had gone. A town like Whitsun Bay, being so near the city, has proved over the years to be popular for retirement, and many fine houses with fine gardens have been built behind the seawall. It is past these gardens that poor Harry ran for once desperate to find his sisters. Tears were welling up in his eyes when he had cause to look back and see his sisters waving from outside the biggest garden of the biggest house. They were well, except they had lost their ball in the big garden. They pointed to the large vegetable plot and said, "It's landed by those long green things." I doubt if you've ever seen such long green things. They were narrow, of course, but of a size where just two would have provided a healthy diet for the whole of Whitsun Bay. Harry's nervousness as entering unknown territory went unnoticed as he tiptoed towards with open mouth. Neither did he notice the twins sniggering before they ran away, nor that there were now 2 pairs of eyes staring at these vegetables. Harry finally remembered that he had come to retrieve his sister's ball, and it was quite a search between those formidable vegetables before he found it. 3rd row back, 2 in from the end. His arms were too short to reach, and there was no way he could walk between them. Now, was it a coincidence that a stout stick lay on the path? Was it a coincidence that the end was wet and shiny? All Harry saw was a means of reaching the ball and then escaping. The arm holding the stick was raised in the air when the thin voice hissed at him, "I've caught you in the act." The voice and the eyes belonged to Seymour Druid Mead, the owner of the house, the garden, and the Marrows. "My prize Marrows!" The voice was now almost sobbing as well as hissing. Harry explained that he was only at his sister's ball, and he was going to explain about the ice creams and the walk when he was cut short. I don't think Druid Mead had even heard what Harry had said. "You vandal! You murderer! Look what you've done!" Following the direction of a shaky finger, Harry's eyes alighted on one Marrow, then another, then on all of them. Each prize Marrow had a large puncture hole out of which was oozing juice. Any one of those would have won me first prize in the next week's show. You're going to the police station. With that, he reached over and grabbed an ear that was attached to Harry and dragged him off to be charged. All he could say to Sergeant Merriweather was that he hadn't done it, which of course was true. The evidence appeared to be against him. He keeps going over the events, but wait, someone is talking to the man at the desk, to the sergeant. Harry goes quite cold. It's Dad. Edward Albert Hastings is a large bear who is frankly an even-tempered, likeable chap, usually. When he does get annoyed, he removes his spectacles, fur stiffens, and he shouts. Be honest, he bellows. His dad is now standing in front of him. Harry slowly looks up into his eyes, and then, as slowly, Harry's face begins to crumple. Hey, my son, don't cry. Your old dad's here. The softness and concern in his dad's voice makes Harry throw his arms around him and cling so tight. He's really sobbing now as Dad picks him up and cuddles him. But I didn't do it, Dad. Harry finally blurts out. Sergeant Merriweather squeezes his arm. I don't think you did either, Harry. I think the damage was done just before you got there. Ted Hastings inquires whether any compensation is due to Drew and Mead for losing his deserved place as winner of the show. Oh, don't you worry, says the sergeant. He wouldn't have won anyway. The miserable little fellow had been using special hormone fertilizer, and that's against the rules. Anyway, I'm one of the judges. He taps his snout knowingly. As they walk home, paw in paw, Harry breaks the silence. Dad, thanks for not being angry with me, for not shouting or. His dad crouches down so he can look straight at Harry. He speaks quietly. Harry, my son, you will never do anything that will make me stop loving you. When you are in a pickle, I will be there for you, no matter who's done what. There's always time enough afterwards to sort out who's the guilty one. The sunset mirrors the glow that Harry feels with his paw inside his dad's big, safe one, and they walk again. Dad muses, or sort out who's the guilty two.